Hello, I'm Keith Kendrick. I'm the editor of BBC Good Food magazine, and I'm joined today by good food writer Melissa Thompson, who, as well as being a brilliant writer, is also a fantastic cook. So she's here to tell us about the three classic retro dishes with a twist that she's created for our December issue and the inspiration behind them. Welcome, Melissa.
Hi, Keith. Thanks for having me. So my dishes, I'm really excited about them. They are a marriage of the traditional and the familiar. To I guess a lot of British people, they're kind of classic British dishes, especially for Christmas. But then also with a bit of a twist, and sort of a twist that's quite personal to my loves when it comes to food and my travels. And so we're starting off with a Cajun. I don't know if people have ever had a po' boy. I went to New Orleans a couple of years ago and had po' boys, short for poor boys. And so these are kind of these Louisiana sandwiches that are just packed full of goodness. And you can get them with beef, you can get them with all different sorts of meats, but also with seafood. And they have prawn po' boys or shrimp po' boys. And the shrimp are kind of coated and then fried. And so to me, it made sense to put that into a prawn cocktail because I think as well as taste, right, texture is really, really important when it comes to food. Yeah. And so you've got kind of the fresh lettuce, the kind of Mariro sauce with a bit of a kick, and then you've got the crispy prawns, and it's just really, really pleasing, and all the flavors because you've got the kind of the crispiness in the prawns, and then also the that kind of slight tang in the Mariro sauce kind of cuts through all of that, and it just marries really, really well. It's a really tasty combination.
So that's a little bit about Cajun spice. What's in that? What's distinctive about it?
So it's just a nice combination of flavors, which I guess isn't that specific. So you've got paprika, you've got a bit of chili, you've got some garlic salt, a bit of onion powder, a tiny bit of cumin, and a few other little spices. So it's just quite a zingy spice mix that to me kind of makes me feel quite happy because it's just quite an uplifting combination of flavors.
Yeah. A bit of heat, a bit of aromatic, a bit of zing, you know.
Yeah, a tiny bit of smoke. Yeah.
Smoke. That's it. Smoke. Yeah.
It's just like a really nice combination, and it works on lots of different things. I've used it as a coating on beef before and smoked it, and that's really excellent as a dry rub.
Yeah.
So it's got loads of possibilities, and well, it just works.
That sounds like an amazing start. So what we going into? What's the next retro twist that you're adding to this menu?
So the next retro twist is turkey curry or curry turkey patties. So they are a good way to use up leftover turkey because I think sort of most of us, need a way. And also the patties themselves freeze really well. So if you're a bit done with turkey by Boxing Day, you can freeze these. And I swear, come January, when you're looking for something a bit tasty, you'll remember these are in the freezer and you'll be really happy. So patties, like Jamaican patties, are just they're so good, they're so tasty. So they're made like they've got that distinct yellow pastry which comes from the turmeric in the pastry. They're really short, they've got loads of like sort of fat in the pastry, and then you get them with all different kinds of fillings, so kind of like lamb, beef, chicken, fish, saltfish, and then these were just, again, it kind of, for me, it makes sense. I went to Jamaica. The first time I went to Jamaica, it was quite fraught. I won't go into it. And then we stopped off at a patty place and just got loads of patties. And I remember that being kind of, because it was a family holiday, which they can always be quite stressful, right? And I remember us sort of sitting there in silence with our patties, and it was just one of the few moments of calm we had on that holiday. And then, I'm lucky in Southeast London. There's quite a few places. I'm quite near to Brixton, so I can get my patty fix. And they're just really pleasing to make. They're really nice. They are a good snack for on the go. And again, turkey curry is a classic, like it's a Boxing Day classic. So just put it in some pastry and make some patties, and they're really, really good.
And just the shop bought curry powder, will that suffice, or have you got a special blend?
Yeah, so I use a special blend, but to be honest, I think when you're using spices, they're always going to be best when you use whole spices and you toast them a little bit and then you grind them back down. But I'm not that precious when it comes to having curry mixes. And to be honest, there's so much going on at Christmas. Use a pre-made curry spice. That's completely fine.
Okay, well, no menu would be complete without the dessert. So what twist have you got? And what's the classic British dessert for Christmas Day, and how have you twisted it?
Well, the classic British dessert is, of course, I would say trifle. Everyone loves a trifle. It's just all brilliant things in one bowl, isn't it? You've got your cream, your custard, your jelly, your sponge fingers, a little bit of alcohol if that's your jam. And so mine is, I think it's probably one of the best trifles you're going to have, right? So it's a bit of mango and coconut. It's a coconut custard, and so like coconut for me is just one of the nicest. It's just really comforting. It's really comforting, and I've been getting into making my own coconut milk, which is actually a lot easier than I thought. But you can use kind of in the recipe, short bought coconut milk is absolutely fine. So it's the sponge fingers, and I've also put, just a nod to my Jamaican roots, a bit of dark rum on the sponge fingers, and then we've got some mango. I actually use tinned mango because I think it's just it's got a nice texture, and I think some of the mangoes you can buy in a supermarket, they can be quite stringy if they're not in season and they're not ripe. So I use tinned mango, and then I use mango pulp to make the jelly. And it's not I haven't put loads of gelatin in it, so it's not really firm. It's just still quite smooth. And then a few raspberries. So I think mango and raspberries go together like peas and carrots. They're a really good combination. And then coconut, the coconut custard on top. And then we've got the cream, and then we've got the toasted coconut on top, which again just gives a lovely little bit of texture. And then just finish it with a bit of lime zest, and it just makes it all kind of alive and zingy. It's delicious.
It sounds amazing. It actually reminds me of when I was a much younger man. I used to get a shop bought flan case and whip up some double cream and put mangoes and raspberries on that, and it was just absolutely sensational.
Amazing.
If I was to do kind of a coconut cream with that flan case, I think I would be getting close to what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
I'd definitely give that a go, because we always have trifle. Trouble is, the next day it just turns into slop, so you've really got to devour it on the day, haven't you?
Yeah, you do. I mean, I think for me, even the day after, it's still edible. It's by day 2. I think it's kind of, would that be day 3? That I think it's kind of gone a bit beyond it. So put on your stretchy pants and go for it.
Brilliant. Well, check out the details of of Melissa's menu and those dishes in the December issue of Good Food, which is on sale now. And Melissa's also done a video to kind of demonstrate those recipes. So get into it. Get stuck into those retro classics. Give it that twist, that smokiness, the spice, the sweetness, the zinginess of the mangoes, and the creaminess of the coconut. It sounds fantastic. Merry Christmas, Melissa. It's going to be
Merry
good.
Christmas, Keith. I think so too. Let's eat well.